And California allows men who identify as women to be housed in women's prisons. The law took center stage at a recent hearing. A biological man stands accused of 2 counts of rape and 1 count of witness intimidation at a women's facility. NTD's Daniel Monahan spoke with the Women's Liberation Front and the group of Women to Women who protested the law.
Senate Bill 132, sponsored by State Senator Scott Wiener, permits men who identify as women to be housed in women's facilities. The law was billed as protecting such individuals, who it says are more vulnerable to sexual abuse and harassment. Former California Corrections Officer Hector Bravo Farrell is blowing the whistle on the practice. He says the law has put women in danger from sexual predators.
They were excited because California, the Department of Corrections gave them a perfect storm to be able to exploit their sexual predatory behaviors. That's unethical, that's immoral, that's dangerous. The victimization of legitimate female inmates.
The whistleblower says women are retaliated against if they try to voice their complaints or their concerns about the victimization.
I couldn't imagine being in a situation where nobody can hear you, right? Where everything you say is getting shut down. These are monsters. So you give them a green light and a pass to go into these women's facilities, they're chomping at the bits.
Farrell says correctional officers know in their heart it's not right and have reached out to him.
See, their job is not to stop the individual from going into there. He's already been approved through the proper chains to be able to let, the wolf go into the chicken's den.
Sharon Byrne, executive director of the Women's Liberation Front, says a California Inspector General report found that dangerous males with histories of sexual violence are gaming the system to enter women's prisons.
That their history of sexual assault was not allowed to be considered in their transfer, that the sort of supreme consideration was that they identify themselves as women. That's it. That was the supreme consideration.
Byrne says they recently got a call from a panicked healthcare worker inside a women's facility in Xochitl that houses 1,900 women. 243 men are already in the prison, and 500 men are on the list to transfer in.
The way that the law is written, the deck is stacked against the prison. The prison really cannot say no.
Amy Ichikawa, founder of Women to Women, spent 5 years at Xochitl Women's Facility. She started the organization due to the lack of re-entry services for women. Ichikawa reports that women inside described the situation as unbearable.
No one's ever had this level of control over the inmate population or staff in the history of the Department of Corrections. The individuals who have transferred into the prison using SB 132 are able to pick their housing, their unit, their rooms, their roommates.
The women's rights organizer says it's like putting kids in a candy store.
And the fact that the law was written in a way that doesn't allow the Department of Corrections to take someone's criminal history into consideration when deciding whether or not they can transfer is extremely reckless.
The publication 4W cited a 2021 Bureau of Prisons report showing that 50% of male inmates identifying as females are sex offenders. California Department of Correctional Facility stats also show 1/3 of males seeking transfers to women's prisons are sex offenders. Women's groups opposing Senate Bill 132 claim it violates Article 5 of the 1947 Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which bans cruel, inhuman, and degrading punishment. Daniel Monahan, NTD News.